Becoming successful at work, getting promoted, and building wealth, that was my God. I literally put in 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, if that's what it took, and relationships weren't important. It literally destroyed my first marriage and all the relationships with my family. When I got divorced from my first wife, it was devastating. And I knew that I had a lot to do with it, and it really, it hurt a lot. All through that too, my relationship with my children just deteriorated, and the relationship with the rest of my family, my mom, my brothers, my dad, that suffered an awful lot too. But it didn't matter to me. Day after Christmas 2019, I started having these stomach pains, and my wife told me, you better get to the emergency room. My gallbladder was bad, so they kept me overnight and they removed my gallbladder. It ended up being it was an infected gallbladder. Another time they took me into the hospital for low sodium, and I stayed there for 5 days. Then another time, I ended up in the emergency room again, I had low hemoglobin, so they did a colonoscopy and an endoscopy on me and found that I had ulcers, Then I started having more health issues, where I couldn't swallow food and I couldn't sleep, There's this lady that I work with, Penny. For years, she's been always inviting me to come to the services. And I always told her, yeah, I will, but I never did. So finally, after I had just gotten out of the hospital, she told me, David, the Lord is giving you so many chances. You really need to get to know Him.
So finally, with the last health scare, I told him, maybe you can watch the sermon on YouTube.
After I got the link to the YouTube service, I just watched the service, and to me it was just amazing. It was as if that sermon was meant specifically for me. At the end of the service, are you willing to say this prayer, to receive the Lord? After that invitation, I prayed that prayer to receive the Lord. I felt as though the Lord had my back. He was with me. After I received the Lord, He revealed to the doctors that actually it was a brain tumor that was causing all these conditions. So because of that now, I should have died because all the conditions I was having, but when He revealed that brain tumor, they were able to start treating me. Then after that, all the small groups started to start praying for me. And once they started praying for me, miraculously, healing started to come really fast of all the different symptoms that were actually killing me, to tell you the truth. Yeah. After I got out of the hospital, I told Pastor Eric I really need to meet these guys that were praying for me. And I got to meet all of them. It's my group where I can share everything with them and they don't judge me. All they do is they try to help me and they pray for me.
So God did a 180-degree turn in his heart, where once David would always be talking about what he knew and who he knew, but now, he prays. He said he goes on his prayer walks. When he talks to people, he talks to them about Jesus. He's healed so many relationships for me. He's healed my relationship with my wife now, with all my children, with my mom. For the first 66 years of my life, not once did I ever tell my mom that I loved her. And not once did she ever tell me that she loved me. Today, when I call her, every day, I tell her I love her, and every day she tells me she loves me. Things that I thought were important before, all of a sudden are not as important. I know the Lord will always provide for me now. I don't need to accumulate all this wealth so that I then worry about, how I'm going to live when I'm 80 or 90 years old. I know the Lord will provide for me. And that tumor is still no longer there. I'm not out of the woods, I guess, because I still have to do annual MRIs, but hey, I'm in a really good place right now, let me tell you.